If you're struggling with getting started writing and getting into a consistent schedule, or even trying to feel inspired, you're going to want to stick around because we're going to have a discussion about how do you get started and some success tips to just start writing so you can beat procrastination. Welcome to Kauffman Writes. I'm Kauffman, and this is my daily creative writing live stream. Welcome. Today we're going to do we'll do 2 writing sprints, 20 minutes apiece. We'll touch upon our creative question of the day. How do you get started writing when you're feeling lazy? And we'll go from there. We're going to have a super easy show today. So feel free to join me. I'm going to hop straight into my first writing sprint. All right. So let me pull this up on the screen. Excellent. And if you're watching this on the replay, we're going to, or okay. If you are watching this on the replay, I'm going to add the time codes on the edit after it's uploaded. So that way you can skip ahead to the place in the video where you want to get the most value out of. All right. So I'm going to throw up my screen here and we're going to hop straight into our writing sprint. So we got 20 minutes. I'm working on the last scarecrow. I'm going to throw up the music. Perfect. And if you're joining along in the chat, feel free to write with me if you need to get some writing done, or if you've had a really busy week, I'll write vicariously for the both of us. Feel free to read along. Okay. And 20 minutes, and the timer starts right now. Hey, welcome, Akio. Welcome to the stream. We're just getting our first writing sprint in for the day. Feel free to read along with me. You can tell me how Last Scarecrow sounds right now. Yeah, interesting. You're touching upon the Comic Sans. Interesting fact. I actually looked up online what was the most popular method for writing, for like the type of font to use. And according to Google, Comic Sans is the most predominant font that writers use when working on their novels because it's the easiest to read on the eyes. So the more you know. And since I've been doing it on my live streams, it's like it's actually way easier to read. And welcome. If you're just hopping into the live stream, we're just doing our one of our 2 writing sprints. Feel free to join me in getting some writing done if you want, or you can read along and I'll write vicariously for the both of us. Oh yeah, with Comic Sans, you have trolls saying it's cringe. It's actually kind of funny. I don't even worry about trolls. I just let them do their thing. right, awesome. Excellent. Good little initial writing sprint. Oh my God, I'm having so much fun with this section. I was like, when I came to this village idea, this prankster village idea, I think if you've been tagging along with me so far, I wanted to ask myself, how do I create a village of inanimate objects who basically trap people through pranks, but they've been essentially they're have life, but the thing they've been cursed with is hunger. And as such, that's why they have this need to trap things because they have to kill. There's more backstory which I'm going to explore with this group, but right now the three of them are trying to get out. And this is the first time I've thought of the idea. I'm like, how do they get out of this situation with all these like things with razor sharp teeth? They're like about to pounce on them, and I think Mr. Crow is coming in clutch for once. He's I think the Scarecrow's light enough with how much straw that he's lost throughout this journey that Mr. Crow can actually carry him. Excellent. So while we're here, let me throw up a 10-minute break. Wonderful. All right, so let me get that timer going. We'll come back to some more writing in 10 minutes. All right, let me hop over to the chat and let's see. So let me throw this up. Perfect. So if you've joined us for the live stream or you're watching this on the replay, welcome. I've been doing some writing sprints today. Let's see. I see Vaughn. Thanks for joining today, man. Welcome to the chat. I hope you've been able to get some writing done this weekend. Excellent. And let's see. So I wanted to pose a question to y'all as I've been thinking for my creative writing question of the day. How do you get started with writing when you're feeling lazy? And that's a thing that we all, as writers, struggle with. So I've dealt with laziness so many times in my life. If you've ever struggled with writing because you've just been feeling lazy from just like being so busy, drop a comment. I'd love to hear from you. So I'm asking myself in times where I've been working and writing a lot, like at times when I had like 60, 70-hour work weeks, how did I get consistency for like pushing myself to work or pushing myself to write? What I found with a lot of writers is we set these goals for ourselves and then we try as we might, we like try to push through, we try to create these like writing routines, and then we're just unsuccessful. What happens is we end up setting these unrealistic expectations, and then it's like the same thing with like trying to be healthy and working out. Then when we don't meet them, we feel like we're failing. The thing I always say time and time again is make it easy. You want to make it as easy as possible on yourself, because I would rather you write for one time a week at 5 minutes than writing 0 times a week for 0 minutes. Now, of course, we want to write more than 5 minutes, obviously, but that's it's a starting place, right? Make an easy time commitment for yourself. Let's see, and then other ways. So if you're feeling lazy, there's always, of course, like good ways to go online and find like writing inspiration. But I think what you need to do is you need to be intentional, right? Because it's easy to hop onto social media, and I could hop onto like writing live streams, or I can hop onto like inspirational videos, and you can go down the rabbit hole and then get lost for hours, and then you never actually end up writing, right? And it's this interesting mindset of that, like the thing that we're looking for help is actually what pulls us farther away from the thing that we're trying to achieve. So I always recommend being intentional with everything that you do. If you need inspiration, like that's great, but like set a time limit for yourself, right? So if you're looking for like inspiration for your writing, set like 30-minute time limit, like just set a timer. You probably have one on your clock on your phone, and then be like, all right, cool. I'm just gonna look for inspiration for 30 minutes and see what shakes loose. Hopefully I find something cool. Try reading or watching shows, books that you're like super passionate about. That's always a really good place to start. Even if it's like an excerpt or if it's a scene, those are great. But once again, it's with intention, right? So as long as you're setting some sort of time limit for yourself, then what happens is you won't lose the rest of the day and you won't lose the rest of whatever time it is that you're planning on writing for your story or whatever story you want to start working on. I know it can be such a process, but I promise you that what you're trying to get yourself to psychologically, you're trying to get yourself to that emotional high point, that fun point of being a storyteller, right? And I think that's something you can probably relate with when you're creating a character or you're talking about a story that you had or you're developing a world or whatever. That feeling you get when you're creating something that you really enjoy, that's the feeling that you want to capture. That's the feeling that you want to foster and bring to life. And that's the same feeling that you'll have when you're watching something that you really connect with. It's the same feeling that you'll have when you're reading a really good book and you get to the end and you're like, maybe you're emotional. It's like, oh, why is it over? Why is the experience over? Because we enjoy these moments because we had that emotional connection. Those are things that work for me when I've been feeling really lazy. Let's see what else. Other things for working on your writing when you're feeling lazy. I would say being consistent for me has made a huge difference. But I'm also like I'm luckier in that I'm able to manage my time in the way that I want because of I'm working on starting a business. But I know for a lot of you out there, you might not have that same luxury of time. I think committing to these live streams is my accountability partner. So if you're watching this or if you've watched any of my shows before, thank you so much. I just want to say, I want to give a shout out. I really appreciate that you've shown up and you've chosen to spend some time with me. You're helping me be accountable and being able to write whatever story or whatever thing that I'm developing. And I have so much fun. I want to say today is day 56. Yeah, so today's day 56 out of my 366 day challenge to myself to write for 30 minutes a day. Right. And like people don't do that. I'm crazy. I know I know I'm crazy in that sense. But yeah, so I think that's a lot of fun. Let me think. And let me pull up the timer for y'all. Awesome. So what are some other ways for when you're feeling lazy, ways to help you with your writing? Um, something that you could try if you're feeling uninspired, just ask yourself, what's the worst possible thing you could write? Use some reverse psychology on yourself to get yourself into that like writing mindset to kind of challenge yourself to try something new. So like, let's say you don't feel like writing, right? Pull up your phone, pull up your the notes tab, and then just write down like a couple things, but write the worst things possible. Have a great time. Make yourself laugh. Write something that would like make yourself laugh. Because once again, where you're trying to reverse and flip that mindset of, oh, I don't feel like writing because of so and so, and then getting yourself into that other mindset. It's the same type of idea of like when you're chilling at home and then you have to start working, right? You have to start getting it yourself. You have to flip your mindset into a work mindset. In that instance, you have to, but it's that same idea of how do I transition my mindset into something different so I can have a great experience and then accomplish what you want to do in the long term. Like writing and consistency is two of the hardest things. I 100% get it. And I know the struggle can be very real sometimes. All right. So I would say there was a couple just of my suggestions or recommendations of ways that I think could help you if you're struggling with just feeling lazy with writing. Let me see. If you have any writing questions, drop it in the comments below. I'm happy to answer them. I'm about to hop into my next writing sprint, but whatever you might be struggling with, definitely feel free to to drop in and I'll talk about it after the next sprint. I know I just came out of a creative writers meeting, which was super cool. And we were talking about, here, I want to pull up the list. We were actually talking about some really cool things. Let's see, where was it? Yeah, so we had a couple things. Yeah, so we're talking about some cool topics. We're talking about like some networking, doing contests, choose your own adventure, using animals and stories, adaptations, and preparing for a book release. It was actually some really cool things, and I got super inspired by it. So I thought that was a lot of fun. All right, so I'm gonna pull up the timer because I'm actually eager to get back into Last Scarecrow. All right, so here we go. Oh, if I can get maybe. There we go. All right, so let's do this. I'm going to pull up the 20-minute timer because we're about to hop into writing sprint number 2. And let's see. Perfect. So, and once again, if you're enjoying any of the writing sprints so far, or you're enjoying, or this conversation's helping you, hit that like button. Let me know that you're enjoying this, the live stream or the video. All right. So time for writing sprint number 2. Let's see if we can get the last scarecrow out of this cannibalistic situation they found themselves in. All right. And 20 minutes. Let's pull the screen back up. Writing sprint number 2, 20 minutes, and it's time to write now. Hey, welcome, YS Books. Welcome to the live stream. Thanks for stopping by. We're just in the middle of a live writing sprint right now. Feel free to read along if you want to get some inspiration for writing, or you can join me if you need to get your own writing done today. Welcome, welcome. I'm realizing that I forgot to turn the music back on.
job.
Man, that was oof, that was great. That was oof, love it. Oh, I love it so much. I got through that writing sprint, and you know when you get to that part of a story where you're like, you're near the end, and then you're like, all right, I have to finish this part. Oh, that was so good. I knew that I needed to get to the end of this. That was the end of the chapter, the end of the village of the cannibals. So I originally named it the village of the pranksters, but I was like, cannibals felt a little bit more appropriate. And I was like, I actually gave them, oh, that's right, because I blew everything. So I'm using a much larger font for a Comic Sans. So like my page count is way off now. Um, awesome. That was fun. But unfortunately, it's only going to get worse for our heroes, as we're going to learn in the next free writes tomorrow. Awesome. Let's see what we got here. Oh, excellent. So it looks like we got a couple comments over here. Let's see, Dogu-kun. By the way, Dogu, I love your picture. I'm forgetting I'm blanking on the artist, but I love this, one of my favorite pictures. Love that. Hello. Have any of your books been published before? You know, that's a great question. They have not. I've probably written about 50 to 100 different types of stories throughout the past 20 years. And for a while, I thought that I was failing because I didn't have stuff that was produced, created, or published. But I realized as I've started upon this part of my journey that for me, it was just about practicing. And this story, The Last Scarecrow, is probably going to be my first original published book because I want to show that you can publish something through consistency and practice. But thanks for asking. If you want to know like more about like my reading or my writing stuff, you can actually check out. I do have my portfolio online of short stories at thecreativeghost.com. Let's see, Yuvraj, welcome. Let's see, do some paper too. Awesome. Let's see, trying checking out. Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you all for joining. I'm not quite sure what that language is, but very interesting. Thanks for joining and hopping in the chat. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed getting some reading along with me. All right. So now that we're through this second little writing sprint, I want to think about what are ways that we can help you as a writer? What are things that you struggle with? Are you trying to get your work published? And if so, you can actually publish your stuff easily on through Amazon's Kindle program. You want to go through digital publishing. There's also other avenues when reaching out to larger publishing houses. I think part of the opportunity with working on a story is just being consistent, right? You just want to the writing process itself can be difficult, but you just want to break it into smaller sizes and make it as easy as possible for you to write. So that's one of my recommendations. Um, let's see, something else. You can also I would say also when you're getting through your writing, make sure that you get feedback from other people before you get it to the publishing stage, right? And because you want even if you think that you have the most amazing story out there, you are going to need other minds and other eyes on it to just give good feedback because we can be working on our stories forever. We could like as a writer, we could be writing and rewriting things like 100 times over. But unless we like get other eyes on it, we won't know for certain. And that's why usually professional authors or writers will have their book sent through an editor before taking it to that final stage. So that's another one of my recommendations. Um, awesome. But I think we made some really good headway today in terms of our writing and some writing advice. If you're watching this on the replay, once again, I'll add timestamps, so you can hop around to the video, a part of the replay that you like. If you found any value in the conversations or the writing sprints today, follow and or subscribe to this live stream, and you'll know when I do daily creative writing live streams to help you become a better writer. Awesome. And if you're checking me out tomorrow, so I'm usually I'll post my schedules for my next week on my socials. I'll probably do that a little later tonight. My Monday through Friday, I'll have a set time. It will probably be sometime between like 4 p.m. to 6 or 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And yeah, so stay tuned. I will be here tomorrow. Awesome, Akia. I appreciate you. Glad. Thanks for joining me in the stream today. Glad. Hope you got some value out of it. As always, appreciate you. But yeah, tomorrow, Monday through Friday, I've been playing around with that 4 to 7 p.m. time, Mountain Standard Time, trying to see around like what works, especially with being aware of like different time zones. And then once again, if you want any of your stories read, my every Saturday I do a live critiques, reviews, feedback session. These past couple Saturdays have been like pretty great. I've had a lot of requests, and then now I'm starting to get requests for next weekend as well. So once again, feel free to message me if you want like an excerpt of your writing, either read aloud or if you want feedback, to the creative ghostwriter at gmail.com. And that's also on my YouTube channel as well if you want to know more. So awesome. Once again, thanks for joining me today. I'm Kauffman, and I'll catch you on the morrow. All right. Take care, guys.